Hello everyone, it is Emery48 here, and today's video is on Star Wars The Old Republic Fatal Alliance. This book is by Sean Williams and costs about $7. It takes place in 3643 BBY and is 1 year after the final trial. Prologue, Wild Space. Jet Nebula, captain of the Auriga Fire, came across a ship to raid named Cinzia. His first mate, Xingguo, wanted to betray Jet and take the money for himself. The ship they were going to board blew themselves up before they could get to it. Part 1. Vested Interest. Chapter 1. Shigar Conchi, a Jedi Padawan, was not considered ready for the trials to become a master. He is now running towards gunfire on a low level of Coruscant. Larin Moxla, a former Republic trooper, came up to the house where gunfire was coming from. It was a safe house for the Black Sun Syndicate. Just before she entered the gunfire, a Mandolorian stepped out, and as the Mandolorian shot a flamethrower at her, a Jedi, Shigar Conchi, appeared. Dao Stryver was identified as the Mandalorian. Dao was looking for information on Cinzia. Shigar and Larin are from different tribes of the same planet. They are going to inform Shigar's master of a Mandalorian on Coruscant. Chapter 2. Eldon Ax, a Sith apprentice, was wounded after her first failed solo mission. She wants revenge on Dao Stryver. Eldon Ax told her master, Darth Kratos, of Dao Stryver. Kratos is on Dromund Kaas. Kratos recognized the ship of the name Cinzia and the woman Lema Xandret. The person Dao Stryver is looking for is Ax's mother. She escaped the Sith after trying to hide Ax from them. Ax must now sift through her memory to see why the Mandalorian is so interested in her mother. The Hutts are also selling information from a ship called Cinzia, which is Ax's birth name. Chapter 3. Ula Vii is an Imperial spy working for Supreme Commander Stantors of the Republic on Coruscant. Ula has been tasked with investigating the Mandalorian's reason for being on Coruscant. Ula has discovered that Dao Stryver recently left Coruscant in a ship called First Blood. Ula has set up a meeting with a senator who might know more about the Cinzia and the Hutt auction. The Hutts are offering information in the auction. This information could possibly be a new planet. Ula reached out to 2 Imperial contacts to inform them of the Hutt auction. The Empire was already made aware of the auction. He has also written a report of his findings for Supreme Commander Stantors. Chapter 4. Larin was confronted about her actions while in Special Forces. Not much came from the confrontation. Shigar has been sent to Hutta to discover what the Hutts have in terms of information and cargo from Cinzia. Shigar and Larin are going to Hutta together. Chapter 5. Kratos and Ax have gotten permission to travel to Hutta from the Dark Council on Korriban. Chapter 6. Ula has been promoted to senior aide and has been sent to Hutta to investigate and negotiate on behalf of the Republic. Ula had a protection detail of 6 soldiers who are not going to leave his side. Part 2. Hutta. Chapter 7. While on the shuttle to Hutta, Shigar tried and failed to identify where a scrap of metal originated from. He was also told he would not pass as a racer without looking roughed up. He will put on the rest of his costume, a mask, when they arrive on the planet. Shigar and Larin took a cab from the Bilbousa Spaceport to the palace in Gebroila. Shigar and Larin made it to the palace using Jedi mind tricks on the guards and bribing a Hutt. Chapter 8. Ax and an Imperial diplomat landed at a spaceport inside the palace. Ax killed one of the security officers when they tried to take her lightsaber. The others, with the advice of Nirvin, the diplomat, let her keep the lightsaber. Ax and Nirvin are being brought to the merchandise by Yima, one of Tassa Barish's associates. Yima brought the Sith group to a vault where Cinzia's navicomputer and another mysterious object are being stored until they are sold at auction. Chapter 9. Yima is bringing Ula to see what is in the vault. The auction is being done anonymously, which means Ula cannot discuss with the Imperial negotiators. Ula has a meeting with Jet Nebula in the cantina. Dao Stryver interrupted Ula and Jet's conversation, knocking everyone in the cantina out with gas. He has taken the two out of the cantina. Chapter 10. Larin and Shigar are heading to the wing where both the Imperial envoy and the Republic envoy are being housed. They have entered a tunnel system to get to the housing wing. After fighting off a couple of security drones, Shigar and Larin have arrived under the luxurious guest wing. Shigar and Larin got into the Republic's room. They found all of the guards passed out. Larin knocked out a Twi'lek standing over the bodies. After Shigar woke one of the guards, he headed off for the vault. Chapter 11. Ax tunneled underneath the vault, digging up with her lightsaber. She noticed that the security system had been disabled and sensed a Jedi outside the exterior door of the vault. Chapter 12. Dao Stryver wanted to know what was left from the Cinzia. Ula tried to escape the shackles, but was put back in his place by Dao. Ula then told Dao where the vault was. Larin and Ula's security troops found Jet's droid. They have found the room. Dao is holding Ula and Jet. Larin and the security troops entered the room as Dao blasted a hole in the ceiling and escaped to it. The Mandalorians do not care where the ship came from, but where it is going. My guess is the Cinzia was headed to a secret Mandalorian base. Chapter 13. Shigar found Ax in the vault, and they have begun a lightsaber duel. Dao entered the vault as Ax was running away from Shigar after she used Force Lightning on him. Chapter 14. Larin has told Yima that Dao is planning to steal the navicomputer from the Cinzia. All other figures, Imperial envoy and troops, Republic envoy and troops, Yima and Hutt troops, Jet, and Larin arrived at the vault where Ax, Shigar, and Dao were fighting. When silence fell from the battle, Jet heard the same phrase he heard from the Cinzia. We do not recognize your authority. This time, it possibly came from Ax. Chapter 15. Dao Stryver began fighting off both Ax and Shigar just outside the vault. Shigar saved Ax from a missile shot by Stryver. The Hutt security team arrived, adding more shots into the airlock. The vault has been broken down from the inside. 3 creatures came out of the vault, firing on everyone in the airlock. These creatures had no head and 4 arms. It does not seem like any of the weaponry by any of the groups is doing much to slow down these creatures. Chapter 16. The creatures were established as droids after one got injured, showing wiring. Larin took out 4 of the limbs on one of the droids, which then converged with one of the other healthy droids to make a larger, fully functioning droid with 8 limbs. Sergeant Potannin was killed by one of the droids. Yima arrived with a turret-mounted laser cannon. A 4th droid had come out of the vault. Ax had been knocked out for a short time. Shigar was taking stabs at a more vulnerable part while the droids fired at Dao. Jet noticed Dao was not attacking at full capacity. He was testing people in the fight. Yima fired the laser cannon, hitting the 8-limbed droid. Ax rose. All the droids fired on her, only angering her more. She charged into battle. Chapter 17. Ax dreamed of being yelled at during her childhood while knocked out by the droids. She used her anger to try to defeat the droids. They retreated and put on a camouflage to blend in with the surroundings. The droids deflected the cannon shots into the wall to give them an outlet to escape. Dao told Shigar to have Yima shoot the cannon into the vault. Yima would not do it without the contents of the vault being extracted first. Dao destroyed the cannon and told Larin to destroy whatever was left in the vault. Shigar saved Jet and Ula from the falling bits of wall and ceiling. Ula and Jet followed Larin into the vault. Ula slipped up by saying he had to get into the vault before the Republic. Jet had already assumed he was faking a story and corrected him for the moment. Chapter 18. The droids escaped to the general area of the palace. Dao successfully caught one of the droids in an electrified net. The droid spasmed, then stopped moving. While Shigar and Dao went to finish the rest of the droids, Ax turned back to get the Navicomp from the vault. Stryver and Shigar defeated the final droid. Larin sent a message through the communicator to Shigar of confusion and concern before the line died out. Stryver and Shigar began running back to the vault. When Larin arrived in the vault, the Navicomp was gone. The mysterious object was a miniature droid factory. She shot it a couple of times to stop it from manufacturing more droids. However, it looked as though it was repairing itself. The transmission between her and Shigar was cut short, literally, because Ax cut off her fingers and demanded the Navicomp. Ula found the Navicomp on the floor. It had been knocked out of the vault by one of the droids. He threw it to Ax to save Larin's life. Stryver caught it with a net and threw a thermal detonator to Ula. Ula tossed the detonator in the air. Shigar sent it into Stryver's flight path, sending him to the ground. Ax and Shigar chased after Stryver. Jet and Ula headed to the palace's dock. Part 3. The Chase. Chapter 19. Ax chased Stryver through the palace, leaving a wake of debris and destruction. Stryver was picked up by a ship. Ax is plotting something, and the many guards on the roof with her will not be able to get in her way. Ax returned to the vault. She saw Shigar unconscious, being carried by guards. Ax realized that the droids had been trying to escape to somewhere. This means the droids could have the location of their home planet. She found the droid killed while in one of Stryver's nets. There are only a couple of guards between her and the disabled droid. Ax is bringing the droid to Darth Kratos. The Imperial ship destroyed the Republic ship before leaving Hutta. Chapter 20. Shigar got to Stryver's ship before the Mandolorian did. It began to take off with no one entering the ship. Shigar was able to get into the airlock, but the security device gave Shigar an electric shock. He could not move and fell out of the ship as it lifted. Shigar has made a deal with Tassa Barish to spare his life in order to track down Stryver. Barish was not happy that the Imperial ship attacked the spaceport and destroyed the Republic ship. Barish is giving Shigar a transport ship. Chapter 21. Just as a security detail arrived to apprehend Larin and Jet, Shigar made the deal with Tassa Barish. Larin and Jet are being escorted to Shigar. They came out hands down as to show they were not surrendering. Chapter 22. Ula, his last surviving security guard, Larin, Shigar, and Jet boarded Jet's ship, the Auriga Fire, to track down Stryver. Larin still had a small piece from the mini-droid factory. Shigar is calling his master for guidance in his psychometric ability. Chapter 23. Master Satele wants Shigar to attempt the psychometric ability. She has also instructed that the Auriga Fire meet with Republic military personnel at Hanover. Ula helped Larin get the glove off her hand that was chopped by Ax's lightsaber. Chapter 24. Ax arrived at the Imperial ship, Paramount. A droid technician has begun working on the Hex. Darth Kratos has spared Ax's life for now, as long as she is still able to find the location of the origin of the Cinzia from the Hex she recovered. Chapter 25. Larin told Shigar why she left Special Forces. They both snapped rude comments back and forth at the end of the conversation. Shigar was able to see the planet, so he knows what it looks like, but does not know where it is. Chapter 26. The Imperial droid technician got coordinates from the Hex. They were coordinates to a black hole. Part 4. Sebadon. Chapter 27. The Auriga Fire arrived at the black hole near Sebadon, the planet Lema Xandret has inhabited just before the Republic arrived. Lema fired 8 missiles at the Republic fleet. The missiles were groupings of hundreds of the Hexes. They entered and took over the bridge of the command ship, with Master Shan aboard. As the Republic fleet was fighting the Hexes, an Imperial fleet came out of hyperdrive. Chapter 28. The Imperial fleet began to attack the struggling Republic fleet. Ax was suspicious because the Republic fleet was seemingly fighting amongst themselves. When she got closer, she realized it was Hexes. She tried to warn Darth Kratos, but he would not take her seriously. Sebadon fired Hex Missiles towards the Imperial fleet as well. Chapter 29. Shigar and Larin were killing Hexes to clear Republic escape pods. Ula and Jet guided them through communications and tractor beams to the rest of the Republic fleet. The fleet was retreating to Sebadon's moon. Shigar is going to the Corellia to rescue Master Shan. Shigar saved Master Shan from the Corellia. They have contacted Stryver, who watched the battle unfold from the moon. One ship from the Imperial fleet headed toward the moon while they planned their meeting with Stryver. Chapter 30. Shigar, Master Shan, Larin, Ula, and Jet's droid Clunker are prepared to leave the Auriga Fire to meet with Stryver and the Imperials. Ax was sent to represent the Empire. Stryver said the colony on Sebadon has only been there for 3 weeks, the same amount of time since the Cinzia destroyed itself. Stryver also added that Lema Xandret has been dead for some time. Stryver has said that the droids have taken over Sebadon, and all the people who fled there 15 years ago are now dead. Stryver proposed the Empire and the Republic defeat Sebadon together. Ula is going into Ax's shuttle to meet with Darth Kratos. He said it was to convince him to work with the Republic, but he will likely explain how he is an Imperial spy. Darth Kratos believes that Ula is an Imperial spy. He is sending Ax to watch over Ula and the Republic while they work together to defeat the Hexes. Then the Imperial fleet will turn on the Republic fleet to take the planet for the Emperor. Part 5. Fatal Alliance. Chapter 31. Larin was glad Ula had successfully negotiated with Darth Kratos. She is just worried about having Ax with the Republic, especially because the Republic does not have someone with the Imperial fleet. The Republic have found new hotspots on the planet. Shigar inferred which one is the command center or brains of the operation, and which is the new major factory based on their locations. Plans have begun being made. Private Hetchke has been promoted to lieutenant to lead an attack on the planet. Larin has also been reinstated and given the rank of lieutenant. Both have been chosen because they have experience fighting the Hexes. Both sides have agreed to a plan and have put Ula in charge of overseeing and directing both the Imperial and Republic fleets. Master Shan and Shigar will be on the same strike force as Darth Kratos and Ax. Ula has returned to the Auriga Fire to lead the attack. Chapter 32. Shigar and Larin had an awkward romantic fail just before Larin and Hetchke went to address their troops. One of Larin's troops had confronted her before for being a snitch. Ax saw that Shigar was angry about something. She poked at it to keep the anger flowing, probably hoping he would flip to the dark side during the battle. Shigar will go in the shuttle with Darth Kratos, and Ax will go in the shuttle with Master Shan. Master Shan believes Darth Kratos will try to turn Shigar to the dark side. Chapter 33. The attack on Sebadon has begun. It is revealed that Ula put Larin's name forward. He probably put Hetchke's name forward as well. Chapter 34. The teams attacking the Master Factory began their free fall from the transport ship. Once in atmosphere, they were fired at. Larin was hit and is now spiraling out of control to the ground. Chapter 35. Shigar and Darth Kratos worked together to defeat Hexes that infiltrated their shuttle. Shigar saw how useful the Force Lightning is when Kratos used it. Master Shan has told Shigar that Force Lightning starts a path to the dark side. Chapter 36. Master Shan and Ax fought Hexes together once on the surface of Sebadon. Ax was impressed with Master Shan's calmness during battle. They are close to being engulfed by lava after Darth Kratos and Shigar's transport hit the island. Chapter 37. Ula and Jet had a minor argument. They continued to try to lead the battle, even with communication being patchy. Stryver broke a hole in the Hex's defense and was chased away from the planet by a monster. Chapter 38. Hetchke saved Larin during her tumbling descent. The ground began to open below Larin and the troops. Stryver was hovering above them. Something was coming out from under the surface. Chapter 39. Darth Kratos and Shigar battled for a short time. Shigar was tempted to turn to the dark side. They were distracted when a massive shadow came from above them. Looking up, they saw whatever had just left the surface. Chapter 40. The lava that swept up Ax and Master Shan was not lava, but the same liquid found inside the hexes. They found an abandoned Imperial ship under the liquid, which led them to the colony. There was a tube with the liquid inside and a body with Ax's face. Chapter 41. The hexes created a ship in 2 halves and are going to connect them in orbit. Larin has put transponders on one of the halves. Jet cracked the security codes of both the Republic and Imperial fleets, making it look like orders from the Auriga Fire are coming from a higher up in both armies. Chapter 42. Larin saved one of the Republic troops from hexes on the skyhook part of the ship. Then they saw the artillery fire coming from the Paramount. Chapter 43. The 2 halves of the hex ship were getting closer to each other. Both had shields that protected them from whatever fire power the Republic and Imperial fleets could muster. Chapter 44. The girl in the tube was a clone of Cinzia. Lema had put her in the tube so she could not access her force powers. Lema also designed the hexes to protect the Cinzia clone. The hexes deemed Lema and the other colonists as a threat when they went to sign a treaty. That is why the hexes killed all the colonists. Lema was still alive partially in the liquid of the tube. Ax freed Cinzia from the tube when she was drowning. Cinzia is not used to breathing air. She also has never heard of the Sith, the Empire, the Republic, or Mandalorians. Cinzia died from shock after being released from the tube. Ax put her blood into the machine and is going to test what happens when she encounters a hex. Chapter 45. The skyhook dispersed into individual hexes and began a free fall to replace the area where the Central Intelligence had once been. Larin landed in the pool of the red liquid and saw Shigar and Darth Kratos on the shore. Ax released herself from Darth Kratos' apprenticeship. She sent a swarm of hexes after him. Jet sent Ula out a pod and left after the skyhook broke apart. Both the Imperial and Republic troops are evacuating Sebadon's surface. Ax controlled the hexes and made them destroy their infrastructure and themselves before going to the transport shuttle. Part 6. Preparations for War. Chapter 46. Larin met with Supreme Commander Stantors. She has been officially re-enlisted as lieutenant and will get to pick her squad. Ula has been given a desk role. He and Larin plan to meet up when she returns from her journey with Special Forces. Shigar may become a Jedi Knight. He asked Larin if he did the right thing by bringing her to Hutta. In summary, she basically said yes and thanked him. Chapter 47. Ula reported to his Imperial bosses. They were disappointed he had been demoted in his Republic job and wanted him to work towards regaining his promotion. Chapter 48. Shigar has been invited to Tython to begin the Jedi trials. Chapter 49. Ax met with Darth Howell, a member of the Dark Council. She will now be his new apprentice. It was also stated that Sebadon had fallen out of orbit and into the black hole. Epilogue. Tatooine. Stryver and Jet met at a cantina on Tatooine. Jet had set a trap for Stryver and released it when Stryver revealed that she knew Jet's real name, Jet Caron. Once Stryver got her bearings, Jet was gone. This overall, probably one of my favorite books that I've read in the Star Wars universe. It kept me entertained throughout, and I really enjoyed all of the characters in the book. Sith, Republic, and neither. I really enjoyed all the characters and wanted to see how their stories played out. If you have any comments on the book or anything else Star Wars related, or I guess anything at all, please let me know down below. Leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for watching, and have a great rest of your day.